All right, this is a test. Let's get it started. So, I think we're all good. Let's talk about how teachers are going to make money using how teachers are going to make money using mark coin. So, what's amazing about this cryptocurrency is that teachers are going to get paid like athletes. What do I mean? So right now, teachers either work at a school or they work on their own privately. Um, but there's a kind of a limit to what the majority of teachers can teach. Of course, there are teachers who teach like corporate things and um, like higher level uh, subjects where the students actually have money already, right? So if you teach students who have money, then obviously you're going to make more money. But the majority of teachers are limited by things like location and learning level. Um, yeah. So I'm going to run through some scenarios of how every teacher in the world is now going to be able to earn as much money as they want. So let's start with the first scenario. Let's say we'll start at the bottom. You're a, teacher at a rural school. It could be anywhere. At a rural school, very little government funding. So you get like a super low salary. So what Marx allows is the school or the government to distribute the cryptocurrency to all of the teachers or administrators at a school who would then divvy it up among the teachers. The teachers, being in control of their classrooms, give out the cryptocurrency the same way teachers give out stars or points or whatever they do now, right? Part of your classroom management as a teacher is to reward good behavior, right? Reward students who do their homework or do extra credit or whatever. You reward them with stars or points or little uh, little markers on the board to show who's in the lead, whatever it is. Right now, most teachers do this, especially if they have set classes. Those rewards that teachers give out are worth nothing. Actually, they in many cases they cost teachers money or they cost the school money because the rewards need to be able to be redeemed for something, right? You may say, okay, class, once you have 50 total stars, you get a pizza party. Or if you or if you're the students are doing well and it's just like a per class basis, maybe you have a collection of like pens or pencil cases or notebooks or something that the students can trade their stars in for. This is very common. This is very common. Students trading in their stars or their tickets or whatever to get little bits and baubles. And this costs the teacher or the school money. But say you're in a rural school with very little government funding, but now you as a teacher were given a number of marks, an allotment of marks for your students. And every time the students come to class, they get marks. Every time they do their homework, they get some marks. Every time they do well on a test, they get some marks. And when they do badly on a test, they still get marks. If they do extra credit, they get marks, that kind of thing. But what's different now is that when they come to class, it costs marks. When they want to do extra credit, it costs marks. If they want to play a game instead of writing notes one day, right? They want to switch it up. Instead of listening to a lecture, there's some free time. Instead of like quiet study, you can say, well, we can play a game. But to play this game costs 5 marks. You see where I'm going with this? Using real money for students instead of stars or tickets allows you to commoditize or monetize many more aspects of the education process. This is important. It sounds bad just because we're not used to the idea of charging students for things. Well, that's not true. We're not used to the idea of charging young students and public school students for things, but adult students and corporate students, professional learners, they get charged for a boatload of things. So it's a small mind shift that we need to make because we've just been trained. We have been trained to see education as a charity. Education is not a charity. Education is a service provided by teachers. It is a service to humanity. And I've said this before, and I'm sure I will say it again. Teachers work for the good of humanity, especially school-age teachers, for young learners and things like that. We teach future generations who will improve human society. We get no reward, very little reward for that. So you have a rural classroom full of students. Each student is getting, we'll just say they're each getting 5 marks a day. You got 30 students. So every day your students earn 150 marks total as a class, right? They earn 150 marks. However, every day to attend class costs a mark per student or something like that. To do extra credit costs a mark. If they don't do their homework, they owe you a mark. If they do their homework, they get a mark. If they got a low score on the last exam, and normally, right, so if a student gets a low score on the last exam, a teacher, out of the kindness of their heart, might allow them to retake the exam, just out of kindness, out of charity, right? The teacher still has to work to regrade this exam. They have to spend extra time to look at it and provide the room and the space to get this done, right? Unpaid work. It's not, I don't want to say it's not fair because in the past, we haven't really had a system to address this aspect of the teaching profession, but now we do. 2023 and forward, 2024, 2025, teachers are going to be paid. They're going to get real pay. Because even though they work for a school, they also work for humanity. They work for human civilization. So they need to get money from both places. They're not just getting money from the school, because they're not just working for the school. We work for humanity, so we need to get money from all of humanity. Now, I don't know if you can see where I'm going with this. So every day you will collect some money from the students and you will give out some money to the students. At the end of the day, you may, as a teacher, be up a little bit. You may have a little bit of profit because you let 5 students retake their exam. The 2 top students in the class want to improve their GPA, their grade point average, to get into better universities later down the road. So they want extra credit, and you sell them some extra credit. They give you the marks they earn. Again, this is not taking money out of students' pockets, because this is an economy. This is an education economy, which should benefit the primary agents in that economy, the students and the teachers. They are the people doing the work, so they should reap the most benefits. Again, so the top students are going to pay for extra credit. They might pay for extra credit every week. Imagine the kinds of teachers we will have. Everyone is profit motivated to some extent. If I knew that by putting in, extra 20 hours just a week, if I knew that putting in extra 20 hours, making super interesting exams, interesting content, engaging content, extra games, extra credit work, extra lectures, or giving extra, if I knew that my extra effort would be rewarded more than just maybe gratitude from some very high-level students, I would put in more effort. Everyone would. Because again, teachers are serving humanity. It's an altruistic endeavor. It's an altruistic profession. Even you can get paid for altruism. This is work that is for the good of people. And if we knew that we would be rewarded or appreciated for more work, we would do it. Or the ones who valued that kind of appreciation, that kind of reward, would join the profession, right? Think of all of the high-powered lawyers and finance people who are really motivated by achievement, by acclaim, and by profit. Those people go into professions that are profitable and that are appreciated, that allow them to make a fine and comfortable living for hard work. Teaching is not it's not a profession that scales with effort. It's not. It's a weird job. It doesn't scale with effort. So teachers get in and they get in where they fit in. They find their level. Maybe some who are extra ambitious or want accolades, or they want to be seen as thought leaders, write books or something. That's beyond the point. The people who are not teachers for a reason. But that reason is gone now. People who are very profit motivated now have a reason to join the teaching profession. Those high speed people can just make infinite money by teaching. You can make infinite money by teaching. So it seems like a little bit right now. You're getting 1 or 2 marks extra, 5 marks extra per day for normal teaching activities. However, now you, as a teacher, have a captive audience every day. You've got 30 students in your class, right? You're a rural teacher. You got 30 students in your class, but they got a wallet full of, full of marks, right? And they're stuck in this room. They don't want to be bored. They want to be educated, but they also want to be people. As I said before, being a student is hard work, hard mental work. And they need relief. And we as teachers are uniquely placed to provide some of this service. How do we do that? So students come to school, they don't have pens, sell them some pens. They don't have paper, sell them some paper. What do we do now? If a student doesn't have a pen, we do a mad dash looking around for a pen, going through our drawers to give them a pen, give them the pen that we are currently using to do our work, give it to the students while we just sit there twiddling our thumbs, waiting for them to finish so we can finish out. No more. Education should not be charity. Education is work. Workers get paid. And the people who get paid, people who have money, pay for the service of being educated. That's the key. Education is work, studying is work. Workers get paid. People with money pay for services like being educated. It's just that simple. So your students are going to have a lot of disposable income. They're young students or older students, whatever. They're going to have a lot of disposable income. And you as a teacher will have them captive every day. Think about it. So maybe instead of a 10-minute lecture on I don't know, grammar, you have spent the last 2 weeks or whatever building a game of Clue. All right, Clue is a game. It's like a murder mystery game where you go around the rooms and you find clues to discover who killed this person, who is the murderer, what did they use to do it, and where did they do it. But you build a special version of this game utilizing the grammar that they're supposed to learn. So they get this super fun and engaging experience where they have to talk to each other because each student might play a role. There's a cast of characters and no one knows who is the murderer. And by reading the clues, interpreting the clues, making notes, talking to each other, they discover who the murderer is. I've played this game many times in my classes. Unfortunately, I don't have the incentive to build a customized version for each and every class. If I had the incentive, I would do it because it's a great lesson. But anyway, so you offer the students a choice. Look, students, I built this game. It took me 2 weeks. I want 200 marks. And then they can say, you don't have to play the game. It's a grammar game. It'll take this one lesson. It'll be fun. We can just do the normal grammar lesson. Students will talk and see, okay, do I want to do the grammar lesson? Do I want to play the game? Some students who prefer to sit and study out of their books, they're going to do that. Teacher, I'll just do the lesson. Sure. Some students don't who aren't as ambitious, and these are the students who are always left behind. The students who don't have these super high ambitions for going to university and becoming doctors, right? They go through 12 years of school, but they don't need 12 years. They don't need 12 years of school. They're just wasting their time for 12 years to go work a normal job. And the same thing in some rural schools, which this original example was about. Some of those students don't have super high ambitions or don't have realistic opportunity to take advantage of super high level education. It's just not realistic. So they go to school every day and they do work, and you teach them, as a teacher, you teach them, and it's a waste for everybody's time. You don't make any money, they don't make any money, but now they do. So when they go to school, these realistic level students make money, and they can spend that money to improve their time, right? It's mandatory for them to go to school. They can improve that mandatory time at school to be more useful or more engaging for them. It really will allow a customized education for each student because they're going to pay for what they want. They're going to pay their teachers for what they want. Right? So 200 marks, they collect 200 marks. There's 30 students, let's say 20 of them engage with the game. They each pool together 10 marks, give it to the teacher. Teacher's got 200 marks. Teacher made this game. I've got 200 marks. Teacher made this game, and teacher can use this game for 4 classes. 800 marks. Right? In addition to the normal amount of marks that this teacher gets just for every student attending. So we start to see that the teachers can start leveling up their profit daily, every day, depending on what they do. Teachers pay teachers sounds like a pretty good investment. Some of those activities make a lot of money now, right? But it's just a teacher that has to spend their own personal money to educate the world. It's craziness. It's literally craziness. A teacher has to go pay their own money so that they can teach their students. It doesn't make any sense. But now teachers going to earn some profit. They use that profit to buy better lessons. If they can't, every teacher's not a lesson creation artisan. Every teacher, some teachers are new and inexperienced, and they should be able to benefit from the experience of older teachers or more experienced teachers or just more creative teachers. But they shouldn't have to come out of their own pockets just to teach students better. No. Well, that's crazy. It's a crazy world, but it's over. That world is gone. That world is gone. The world where teachers pay for lessons in order to teach, to do their normal work is over. Teachers don't have to buy lessons in order to work harder. Paying for your own work is morally wrong. It's morally bad. So teachers make a profit, 800 profit here, 1,000 profit there with different types of activities. Think about this. Sometimes you have a group of students with a particularly difficult exam, and they want a curve. They want this exam to be graded on a curve. That sounds like something that you should buy. Grade this exam on a curve. Another 2, okay. Whoever's got the lowest score, that'll be the new bottom. Um, so you take money for that. You're at another 1,000. So, So you had an exam this week and you had the game this week. You're at um, 1,800 per class. You get 1,800 marks times 4. I wish I had done 2,000. Well, I'm just gonna say it's 2,000 marks. So you got 2,000 marks times 4 classes. You made 8,000. 8,000 marks that week. Sounds like a pretty good week. Plus whatever incidentals, pencils, pens, printouts. Teacher, I forgot my book. Oh, I've got a bunch of extra books here. Think about that. These textbooks, school textbooks, are expensive. They're expensive. Some places we just photocopy them. Some places have the real books. Whatever. We'll figure that out. But now, instead of the school doing charity and buying a bunch of books to give to the students are going to buy their books. Now, I know university students, this is normal, but in lower levels, public schools, not normal. They get free books or they get no books and the teacher has to write everything out on the board. So you're a rural teacher with poor students, but they make money every day. This class, the book costs 20 marks. Every student, hand over your 20 marks. If they don't have it, that's okay. We got you in advance. We'll get the books for you in advance in the first 20 marks. The first 20 days of school, because they earn 1 mark a day just for attending. Just for attending school, they earn a mark. So that first 20 days of school, we'll keep your marks. You get your textbook. The school loses nothing. The school no longer has to pay for books. Think about the finances of your local area when there's no more allotments for schools. The school doesn't have to get charity in order to educate the students. Think about the finances. Think about what that can do to teacher salaries. The school no longer has to pay for books, no longer has to pay for meals, no longer has to pay for bus or transportation to and from school. The school doesn't have to pay for after-school programs. That's all going to come from the students. The students pay their tuition. All right, included in this tuition is the marks, which comes back to the school. It feels like double dipping. Doesn't matter what it is. That's the education economy. The school no longer has to pay for any of these things. So that means your salary as a teacher goes up. Teachers' unions, get on this. Get your school to adopt mark tokens, mark coins. Because again, it costs nothing for anybody. It costs nothing. Every cent that someone has to spend, every fiat currency, every local currency that someone has to spend in order to use marks gets refunded. It comes back. It's a loop. It's an economy. It's circular. Everything in education stays in education. Now, let's do some more. Let's see how teachers are going to make some money. So, your students now have money. They are not so beholden to their local area. They say, okay, well, my school is in a bad neighborhood. My teachers are super underpaid. But there's a school, 30 minutes away. They have a teacher who published a book. That teacher published a book, and I've seen that teacher teaching math on YouTube. I really like that teacher. I want to study with them. I've got the money. What's happening? I, as a student, have the money to study with the teacher that I want to study with. What's happening? I'm a teacher, but I offer some after-school classes. Anyone can join. You want to come over from 30 minutes away to join my class? The tuition is 2,000 marks. I've got people coming from all over to study with me. Am I doing something right? Am I good? Am I a good teacher? Why are these students coming from 1 town, 2 town, 3 towns away, driving an hour to come study math with me? I must be doing something right. My YouTube videos are hitting. I'm getting popular. Okay, my new tuition is 4,000 marks. People still coming? I'm a good teacher. Oh, wow. I'm a public school teacher. I teach normally during the day, but after school, I have a private class. People pay me 4,000 marks to study with me. It's 8,000 marks to study. Oh, I'm pretty popular. There's some students from overseas. They want to do a summer program with me. You're going to pay 10,000 marks to come study with me for a few weeks? Come on over. So if you're a rock star teacher, you're going to make rock star money. Rock star teachers will make rock star money. Let me say that one more time. Rock star teachers are going to make rock star money because the students now have a choice of who they study with. They can afford to study with whoever they want to. If the teacher is very good, they will use their marks that they earn in their normal lessons to come study extra lessons with that teacher. This is going to be amazing. This is a game changer, a world changer. And remember, it costs you as a teacher, it costs nothing because you make back everything you spend up front. Everything you spend up front, you make it back in returns because the students have to, you make a, it's like, it's not an investment. It's not an investment. It's just stars. It's like printing out tickets or reward tickets for your students. Right now, you pay to print out tickets. They collect the tickets after each day if they do well, and then they redeem the tickets with you to take home a little toy or whatever. But now, instead of tickets, and instead of you paying for the toy, right? You get the marks. You give them marks, and they give the marks back to you, which you also, since the marks are real money, you use the marks to buy the toys that they are buying. So you don't spend any money at all. I cannot stress this enough. Adopting mark coins doesn't cost anybody anything. It only costs the Gang Foundation money to create them. It costs us money, but it's for the sake of humanity, these things don't cost people money. Why? Why don't they cost money? It's because education is an economy and it already works. It's already a circular economy. Money's already moving. All we're doing is throwing in marks and taking out the dollars. We're taking out the dollars, putting marks into the system. The system already works. It's already profitable. It just hasn't been profitable enough for teachers, and it hasn't been profitable at all for students. But the marks add fairness. The marks add fairness to the system. Dollars are an unfair currency. The more dollars you have, the more dollars you get. The more choices you get, right, in dollars, the people who are doing the work don't earn or get any dollars. It's really it was a bad system. The system is changed now because of Marx. Right? The people doing the work generate the income, and it is up to them to divvy out or give the income to the other players in the system. So, if you're a rural teacher, your students, the parents of your students were paying whatever for them to attend your school. They were paying whatever. But now they don't have to pay anything. Uh-oh. Did you, as a teacher, just by adopting Marx, improve the lives of thousands, or you got 30 students in your class and they each got 2 parents, so 60. 60 parents and 30 students, so 90. So just by doing this thing, which is basically free, just by using Marx instead of using stars or tickets, you will tangibly improve the lives of about 100 people in your local area. A single teacher will improve the lives, monetary lives of 100 people, because the parents don't have to spend their money anymore. The students earn money. The parents keep their money to do for their normal lives. They have to pay for the normal economy. It's crazy we ask parents to pay for the education economy as well. Let the people in education pay for education. When you think about tertiary education, like private stuff, coaches and consultants and that kind of thing, when you think of just like trade skills and the certification education economy, right? When you think of the things where the people who make the money use their own money to get their own education, that's a lot of money, right? Those teachers, those businesses make buku bank. They make so much money, it's crazy. Because the people who have the money are using the money for their own benefit. And they're willing to use exorbitant amounts of money for their own benefit. But it's difficult to use exorbitant amounts of money for the benefit of who? Certainly not your child. Your child does not benefit by going to school. Yes, you might say, okay, they get education. Education is not real. Knowledge is an intangible resource. It may or may not be profitable at some point in the future. It's weird to ask people to make the large investments in knowledge for other people that may or may not bear fruit. Now, we have ingrained that into our psyche as humans. We know, okay, we have to do something. We have to educate the future generations. But the people who get the most knowledge, the students who get the most knowledge and the best education, rarely receive the most exorbitant or the most taxing amount of investment from their parents. Think about that. The people who go to the best schools are not using as much of their parents' money as the people who go to the worst schools. It's an inverted and crazy system. It's wrong. It's immoral. All right? The poor pay a higher percentage of their income to educate their children than the wealthy do. And they get worse results. No longer. Every student will now be on equal footing. It's about student ability and effort, all right, and willpower. The harder a student studies, the more money they will make. The more ambitious a student, the more money they will make, and the further they will be able to take their ambitions. If your kid is just going to be, I don't mean to say just, if your kid is going to be a bricklayer, they don't need to go to school for 12, 16 years. They don't need to do that. It's crazy to even force them to, right? Because they don't make anything. But by using marks, if we can adopt marks as a species, if we can adopt marks universally, that bricklaying student, that student who's going to be a bricklayer, can go through 12 years, 14, 16 years of school, right? And when they come out of that, they've got enough money to start their bricklaying company. They've got enough money to buy all the tools and even hire workers if they want, right? If they studied hard, educated themselves, they can contribute intellectually, spiritually, artistically to humanity, but they can also support themselves, and they won't have any debt when they come out of it on the other side. It's really an amazing change. And every student from the top to the bottom has an opportunity to be self-sufficient, starting early. But this isn't about the students. This is about the teachers. So you're a teacher. You now have students coming in from all over to hear your lectures. You might develop a course, online course. Plenty of teachers do. Even I have developed an online course. I haven't made any money, but I haven't sold it yet. Honestly, I developed a course, but I haven't sold it to anyone. It's not a business. I'm not a good business person, I guess. I'm a thinker and like a writer, but not a business guy, I guess. But lots of students want to study with me. So if only they had some marks, they could afford my prices. So as a teacher, because look, it's 2023, baby. It's 2023. Education is online. Education is on YouTube. Education is on TikTok. Education is on Facebook. It's everywhere. Education is ubiquitous. Paid education is easily accessible. Kind of. If people are using cryptocurrency, education is easily accessible. The thing is, we just have to give impetus. We need to give these localities, these people, a reason to use it. Cryptocurrency is flawed in that it's for what? People say, for what? Why would I use Ethereum? I can buy food with money, with regular dollars. I don't need Ethereum. Why would I blah blah? You know when cryptocurrency was undeniable, when we had the Silk Road, right? Back in the day with the Silk Road, when you could buy your illicit materials with cryptocurrency. It solved a real problem. Very few cryptocurrencies are solving real problems for regular people. There's a lot of great projects that are industrial and further human technology into the next, epoch. They're great, and there's adoption and there's work there. But for normal people, crypto is either a game, it's for fun, it's gambling, it's a waste of money, it's speculation, it's risky. So, of course, people aren't going to adopt it. But Mark Coin is not any of that. It is strictly for education, It's not I don't want to. There with the news of the SEC classifying certain cryptos as securities. Um, I don't want to say the wrong thing, um, and I'm not educated enough to know all of the ins and outs of what is happening there. Mark Coin is not made as an investment, like you put money in and it grows. That's not what it is. Mark Coin is an investment in the education system, in investment in the improvement of humanity. Now, if you invest in humanity, in improving humanity, will you be rewarded? I cannot say yes or no. I think that's illegal for me to say yes or no to that question, because this is not a security. This is not an investment meant to make you more money. Um, Using marks, all right, will make you more marks. It will 100%. If you adopt marks, you will profit in marks. I cannot say that you will profit in any other kind of money. I cannot offer you that. But I will say buying and using marks means that marks will be gained and used. So think of that however you want. Here's what I'll say. Any teacher who uses marks in their class will earn marks. And if you want to sell those marks on the market, because this is a cryptocurrency, it's very easy to just sell them on any exchange. They are not listed on any exchanges yet. Don't think like that. But if you get marks now, you should be able to sell them in the future. You should be able to. I don't know. But so don't worry about that. If you're a teacher and marks get listed on any exchange, any cryptocurrency exchange, you can simply click and sell them, and then you'll get whatever cryptocurrency you want to exchange them for. Is that profiting? You might. Right now, marks are effectively worth nothing, but there are 1.5 trillion students. There are on any given day 1.5 billion students with access to cryptocurrency. I've done this research. Gang Foundation has done the research. We know the market. We know the size. We know how many students there are collectively all around the world, how many schools, how much it's possible to earn. Just think about this. On any given day, 1.5 billion students at all levels have access, can trade marks. And even more than that, don't have access but don't need it, right? Again, marks are like the stars you get in class. It's notes in a ledger, right? Cryptocurrency, the blockchain, it's a ledger. It's notes. So any teacher can keep track of the P&L, the profit and loss of their students in their class. And then at the end of the month, they'll just resolve all of that. Just do a couple transactions. One transaction a month, you get all the students together at the local internet cafe, and then you divvy up their marks to them. Um, yeah, of course, that's possible. So, but we'll just say for ease, there's a market of 1.5 billion people every day to use this cryptocurrency. And again, it doesn't cost any of those people any. Marks doesn't cost any of the 1.5 billion people who can use it every day. It doesn't cost them any money to use. All right? I'm going to say that again. Everyone who adopts marks will only be profiting, will only be improving their educational experience. All right? It costs nothing. In most cases, your school or school system will do the advanced part, will buy the marks and then give them out to everyone. That's all it takes is giving them out to teachers, and then teachers give them to the students for their work in class, because the teachers are like the managers here. They see the work. Now, you might say teachers don't want that extra accounting job. Sure, right? That's the oversimplification. The administrators of the school, based on teachers' reports, will do the money. All right, obviously. But if you're a private teacher, you're going to do this. Your students are going to come to class. You're going to give them their marks. They're going to do their work. They give them their marks. They want something extra. They give you their marks, and back and forth and so on. It really is just a world-changing system. That's it. I hope I have done enough to explain how teachers will become wealthy. Again, so you're a teacher. If you're a rock star teacher, people are going to know who you are, right? I can go online. I can go and search Teacher of the Year right now, but I couldn't take a class with that person. They might have a private, but right? So I'm a kid and I see the Teacher of the Year. There's no hope for me to study with that person. With marks, now it is possible. The Teacher of the Year, right, can accept the marks of students, whatever their price is. And then the students who have the marks will attend the class. It will breed, right? It will breed a new kind of teacher. There are some places in Asia where there are some rock star teachers. They have like really intense, really difficult exams, that the mandatory exams, like they're just grueling and suicide-inducing, stressful exams, right? The teachers who teach those skills well are kind of like rock stars. You can find them on TikTok and YouTube with hundreds of thousands of subscribers or millions of subscribers taking like a math class. It's amazing. But those teachers, they might make some money from YouTube, and they might make some money from TikTok, but they're not making any money from the millions of students who watch them and want to learn from them. Students want to learn from them, but they can't. They don't have any money. Only the very wealthy parents might have some money to study at that teacher's very expensive school. But the majority of students can't swing it. But even the students who are super smart don't have the opportunity to study with the best teachers. Now, the super smart students will earn the money they need to study with the teachers they want. And if you become one of those teachers, you're making money. I have made a small example. All right, so I was running some numbers early in the process, and here's what I say for teachers making money. So a teacher um, buys high marks. Marks are a dual level currency, and this is to keep everyone honest. All right. There are a number of marks, whatever the original amount of marks is. Um, it will never grow. It will never shrink. They can be burned, but they will be lost. Some will be lost. So but anyway, so there's an original amount of marks, and the way it works is since they can't, there's no kind of fuckery that can go on. They just are. All right, so they will come into this education system, and whatever value they have is the value they have. Some will be lost, right? Some will be hoarded. So there may come a time when we need more marks, but that time is not now. Maybe not. If there are less in circulation, they just become more valuable. Honestly, I don't know. But anyway, the Gang Foundation doesn't sell marks. Marks are not an investment. We don't sell them. All right? Marks are paid to students for their studies. That is it. That's what they're for. They are paid to students for their studies. The students can then use the marks to buy whatever, but we don't sell them directly. We do sell high marks, and high marks are redeemable for an amount of marks. They are redeemable for marks at a discount to whatever the market rate of mark is. All right, so again, we don't want to take advantage of anyone, right? So we will sell high marks to some institutions or teachers, but at this time there's no plan to sell marks to anyone. We may give them. Obviously, we will donate marks. This is a charitable foundation. Gang Foundation is a charitable foundation, so we will give marks to people, but we will not sell them. But we will sell high marks. So a teacher buys 100 high marks, costs $100. The teacher can convert those high marks into 10,000 low marks. 10,000 marks is the working number we have for a class. A class needs 10,000 marks, right, for the year. For whatever the class length is, split up 10,000 marks among the students, whatever that works out to. So the teacher has 10,000 marks. They will distribute 80% of those marks just through regular teaching. When the students come to class, when the students do their homework, for every test that the students take, depending on their grade, they will get a certain value of marks. 20% or 2,000 of those marks, all right, will be used by the students to purchase things from the teacher. So they may purchase merchandise, they may purchase prizes, they may purchase functions like parties or field trips, they may purchase awards. I didn't even talk about this aspect of the economy yet, but certifications, again, God, remind me to talk about this, how teachers will become rock stars again. But so students will purchase awards, like I took so-and-so teacher's class, or I am fully certified in IELTS English by such and such teacher. You're going to want that. Some students are going to want that validation and that evidence for their future studies, and they will buy those from the teacher. Letters of recommendation will be purchasable. Uniforms need to be bought, books, whatever, incidentals. So originally, the teacher spends $100. 80% of that goes to the students. and 20% or $20 of that comes back to the teacher. Oh, okay. No, I've misspoken, right? So 20% of that comes back to the teacher in the form of profit for extras. The 80% that the teacher gives to the students, all right, will cycle. This is it. So the student attends your course and there's a 10,000 mark pool. They get 8,000 of that given to them. But that 8,000 is also spent in whatever course, the course setup, whatever the course entails, costs that same amount. Okay, I need you to understand this. That's why this doesn't cost anything. It cycles. Okay, the marks given to students every day they come to class, they get a mark. Right? They get a mark just for showing up. But also every day, in order to show up to class, costs 1 mark. It's cyclical. It forces accountability. It forces focus and effort. It backs up motivation. Students who are motivated will come to class, they'll get their mark, and they'll use that mark to pay for the next class. All right? That's cyclical. That's 80% of the marks you as a teacher give to the students will come back to you cyclically. But 20% is profit for the students. As a teacher, you are going to offer some things to extract that profit. Now, if you're a private teacher, that's for public school teachers. Now you're going to say, "Oh, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense. I spend 100." Well, I was wrong. You don't spend 100. If you're a public school teacher, your school spends 100, and they give you that 10,000 in order to use for the students. All right, and they get that 80% goes directly back to the school. The 20% that the students will have above what they use for their studies, that profit goes to the teachers, right? The teachers are selling, again, prizes, grading curves, alternative activities, that kind of thing. That's profit for the teacher. If you're a private teacher, then your course costs whatever the tuition of the course is, the students pay that in marks. So it's all profit for you. So in this way, the teacher makes $20. This is just an example. The teacher makes $20 for the course, over and above their salary from the school. And then whenever the teacher wants, they can sell that $20 worth of marks. That's a public school teacher. And a private school teacher, they get all of the 10,000 marks back. So it costs them nothing. But for the private school teacher, to make money, they're going to offer the incidentals or whatever extras, and the students will either, if they have marks, use those marks directly, or if they don't have marks from other places, purchase marks from the teacher. They'll just get them from the teacher. In this way, the private teacher makes profit. The same thing for the public teacher. They will offer so many incidentals and extras, awards and letters of recommendation, that kind of thing. The students can pay for those with marks that they have earned over the course of their studies. But if they don't have enough, then they can always revert back to the old system and inject some cash. They'll use some dollars to buy marks, and then with those marks, they will buy whatever from the teacher. In this way, every teacher begins to profit directly from every student. If you're a public school teacher, you got 30 students in a class, you got 5 classes a day. You got 5, I don't know. You have 5 classes a day, whatever. That's 150 students you're making profit from daily. Economy, it's an economy. And everyone wins. Everyone wins, especially humanity as a whole. That's it for today. That is how teachers will make money and become rock stars. I will expand further about the awards. Excuse me. The NFT section or side of teaching. If you're a private teacher, you probably understand this already. At the end of your course, you offer a certificate. The certificate costs a little bit of money. They're going to get that in marks. But throughout your course, you teach the students a number of skills. They can also purchase those skill awards. Those NFTs, skill awards, may be worth money. If you become a rock star teacher and you have a signed, unique, skill award as proof that you studied with such and such teacher, that might grant you a little bit of leeway at that teacher's alma mater, or if that teacher is very famous and you have their unique NFT, one-of-a-kind seal of approval, the school, whatever school you get into, is going to be like, oh, well, this kid's a winner. All right, so that there's 2 sides to that NFT discussion. That means money for the teacher and also clout for the students to, again, improve their educational outcomes. This is a very big topic, but not a big change. Everything I've said is normal. We always have to pay for things at school and in education and certificates. Just instead of using dollars, we're going to use marks. Thank you.